Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video we are going to cut an off-shoulder asymmetric bustier blouse with beading details. You look at my screen, you'll be seeing the blouse. It's well beaded and well designed. So guys, I've folded my pattern paper into two. I have to extend the pattern paper for it to be enough for this design. And this is my measurement book. I'll be needing bust measurement, waist measurement, my shoulder, my hip, my under bust, my bust point. This is the measurement I'll be needing for this design. So as you can see, I've marked out my starting line. So this blouse is an off shoulder, but I will be marking it out here like a full shoulder, and I will show you how you will now convert it to an off shoulder blouse. Okay, so I will be starting, this is my starting line. I'll be starting here. So my bust line is 8 inches, my half length is 18 inches, the full length is 24 inches. Then I'll be adding extension of 6 inches. That will give me 30 inches. So I'm going to dot it out again so I can connect it. So I'm going to label the line. This is shoulder, this is bust line, this is half length, this is full length, and this is extension. So after that, the next thing I have to mark is my bust point and my under bust. So my bust point is, my under bust is 14 inches and my bust point is 11 inches. So I'll also connect it with a straight line and label it also. So this is my bust point and this is my under bust. So after labeling this, the next thing I need to do now is to, since the blouse is an off shoulder, I'm going to come down from the shoulder line with 5 inches. So I'm going to mark 5 inches. So this is my neckline. So after that, I'm going to cut this out in order for you to understand what I'm doing. So this is my neckline. So after that, the next thing I have to do now is to divide my nipples to nipples measurement by 2, and I'm going to mark. So my nipples to nipples measurement is 8 inches divided by 2. I'll have 4 inches. So I'll mark it and I'll extend it down to the full length, to the extension line, and I'll connect it. So after marking that, on the under bust, I'm going to come out this side with 2 inches, and on this side I'm going to come in by ½ inch. So I'll do the same here, ½ inch and 2 inches. I'll also do the same on the down part. So I'm going to connect it with a straight ruler. Remember, it's from your under bust. So I'm going to place my curve ruler and I'll connect this to the under bust. And this one, I'm going to connect this one to the under bust. So after that, I'm going to come out here by 1½ inch from the neck area, and I'll connect it down to the under bust. I hope you see that. So I'm going to take this place off. This place is going off. So after this, the next thing I have to do now is to mark the shoulder line. At this point, I will need the shoulder measurement on the shoulder line, on the neckline. So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2. That's 8. This is 8. Then I'll be adding this 1½ inch here. That will give me 9½. So the next thing is to divide my bust measurement by 4. My bust measurement is 14 inches divided by 4. That will give me 10. Plus this 1½ inch here that I take out, that's 11. So I'm going to connect my armhole from here to here. That is for my armhole. So the next thing is to divide my waist measurement by 4. My waist measurement is 30 inches divided by 4. That will give me 7.5. 7.5 plus this 2.5 inches. That will give me 10. Then on the hip line, the hip measurement is 42 inches. Divided by 4 is giving me 11. Plus this 2.5 inches here. That will give me 13.5 inches. Okay, so the next thing I have to do now is to connect the lines together. Remember, on this area, I've not joined my joining allowance. So after marking this, you can as well add your sewing allowance on the paper, or you can do it on the fabric. So after that, I have to mark my side dart. So my side dart is 1.5 inches. Sorry, I'm marking it from the bust point, not from the under bust. Don't make that mistake, please. From the bust point, that's where you mark your side dart. Is either you mark it from the bust point up or from the bust point down. It is your choice. It does not have a particular place to be. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to cut this out. Then, so that I can be able to cut out my side dart, I'm taking this part off. So I'll be cutting this out. So I want to add my allowance on this paper. I don't want to add it on the fabric. I want to add it on the paper. So I'm going to show you on what to do. In case your paper is not complete, you add up your paper, because I want to add my sewing allowance all together. So at this point, I'll be adding 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. Or 1 inch. Right now I need 1.5 inch because I'm going to join this part. So on the waist area, 1.5 inch. On the bust, 1.5 inch. You can choose to add yours from your fabric. So after this, I'm going to cut this all out. Then I will extend my side dart to the allowance. So right now, you notice that as I take out 1.5 inch for my side dart, the half length will no longer be 18 inches. So it's going to be 16 inches. So while cutting for the back one, the half length is going to be 16.5. This one now, removing 1.5 inches, I have 16.5. The back will now be 16.5 for the half length. So I'm cutting from.
It's more than fabric, it's a vision. Nanya beauty, feel the rhythm. Threads of gold, born with riches, made with love.
So I'll take my gum or my tape to piece it back.
Nanya beauty stitches.
Step on the scene like royalty, wrapped in grace and loyalty. Every
So after taping it, this is what I have. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to tape this together.
stitch tells a story of queens who walk in glory. Bold designs and African dreams, silken and Cara and
So after taping it together, all I have to do is I'm going to mark the midpoint. So after marking the midpoint, I'm going to connect all these lines back. Okay, this is the half length, this is the full length, and this is the extension. So all I have to do is from the right side, it depends on the side you want the thing to be. From the right side, I'm going to mark from this full length. Remember, we have 1.5 inch for joining allowance, so I'm going to mark out the 1.5 inch. So after marking out the closing allowance, from the left side, I'm going to connect a straight line down to the full length. So I won't be leaving this line. Then from here, from the side, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. So from this 1 inch, I'm going to do the scallop mouth. So you keep curving your scallop mouth until you get what you want. And looking at the picture, we have only 2 scallop mouths on the picture. So I'll keep curving it. So, and this one, I'm going to extend it down to this part. So if you feel like you are not okay with the scallop mouth, you keep marking it. And remember, this is our closing allowance, so the scallop mouth will not get there. So remember, I told you, if you feel like the scallop mouth is not okay, you can as well remark it to get exactly what you want. Remember that. So after that, we are going to mark this side on. You can start from here, this end. Remember, I told you, you can always adjust. If you're not okay with the marking you get, you can always adjust. So after marking, remember, this is our closing allowance. So this is our full length, and here is our closing allowance. So if you notice very well, you will see that our scallop mouth stop at the full length, and on this right side, it also stop at our full length. So guys, I'll be cutting it out, then we'll be closing the upper area so that we can do the scallop mouth at the upper area. Cut it out, please watch me very carefully. We are going to
Perfect seems, every child, every woman shines, dressed in soul, dressed divine.
Nanya beauty stitches, we wear the crown. Colors of culture, we're world renowned. From mother to daughter.
So after cutting it out, this is what I have. So guys, the next thing now is I'm going to tape the upper area in order to do the scallop mouth on the upper side.
We slay and sing, luxury draped in every bling. Oh, we rise, we glow, we slay in Nanya style.
So after taping the front area, the next thing is to mark the scallop mouth. So to do the mouth, the neckline scallop, I'm going to come down from the center area by 1.5 inch. Then on the side joining, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch. I have joining here. So all I have to do is I'm going to take this up. So on the right side has 2 scallop, on the left side have 2 scallop. So from here too, I'm going to take it up again. Remember, I told you, always adjust. If you are not okay with what you have, always adjust it. You can always adjust. So now that I come down by 1.5 inch, remember my shoulder measurement today, I came down by 5 inch for off shoulder. So plus this 1.5, I have total of 6.5 for the off shoulder. So maybe by joining it with 1/2 inch, by turning it up with the lining, and I will now have total of 7 inches. So it means that it will protect your cleavage is very well. Your bust will not show. But if you want it to go down, maybe you want to show a little cleavage or whatever, you can as well come down by 2 inches or 2.5. It all depends on your choice and how you want it to be. So on this part, I'm going to also come down by 1.5 inch. Then I will extend it this way. If you are not good with freehand, you can also use your French curve. You can also use your French curve, and always please keep adjusting until you get what you want. So from here, I'm also going to mark. So if you want to have what you have on this side, on the armhole side to that side, you are always free to measure. At this point, I have 1.5, and at this point, I'm going to make sure that it comes from 1.5 to have equal curve, as you see. So after marking the scallop mouth, the next thing is to cut it out.
We pave the way from heart to hem. It's flawless riches. We are the light. Nanya beauty stitches.
So guys, this is what we have for our front off shoulder bustier blouse, scallop mouth, both up and down. All right guys, to mark the back bodies, okay, so I'm going to take off the shoulder to the bust line, which is 8 inches. So this is my starting line. So minus 8 inches, which is the bust line, I'm going to mark the half length, which is 16.5. Remember, the front half length is 18 inches, but because I minus 1.5 inch on the side, that I have 16.5 left, so I'll mark 16.5. And the full length, the back full length will be shorter than the front full length. So the front full length is 24 inches, so the back will be shorter with 1.5 inch. So I'm going to have 22.5 on the full length for the back. Okay, I hope you understand that. So after that, I will connect it with a straight ruler. So the next thing I have to do is to divide the bust measurements by 4, which is 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. Then waist is 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5. And the hip is 42 divided by 4, that's 10.5. So I'm going to connect the lines. So the next thing I have to do is to mark my joining allowance like I did on the front bodies. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, both the bust, the waist and the hip line, and I will connect it. So after this, the next thing I have to do is on the down part, I'm going to come down on this part because I don't want it to be straight. I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch on the center side, and I will connect it from the side down to the 1.5 inch because I don't want the down part to be straight. So after that, I'm going to mark my lacing because this is going to be lacing. If you want yours to be zipper, no problem. So on the upper part, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch. Then on the down part, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. So I will connect it. So after that, I'm going to mark where my bone is. You can as well use your tape to measure where your bone is going to be for the sake of your eyelet. So I'm going to connect the lines. So at this point, my eyelet is going to be in here. And I'll also attach boning. I'll put 1, 2, 3 boning on the eyelet area. So I'm going to cut this part off. So guys, then on this angle area, if you don't want it to be straight, you can as well come down. If you feel like you want it to have a curve, you can as well come down by 1 inch. But at this point, I'm okay with what I have. So placing the front bodies on it to see that we have exactly the same thing on the closing side. As you can see, we have exactly the same thing here. So I'm going to cut this out. After cutting it out, this is what we have for the back bodies. I hope you see that. So guys, the next thing I have to do is to trace all this on our pattern paper. But before then, let's cut on the sleeve. So I'll show you on how I'm going to cut on the sleeve. I'll trace this on the fabric, then we'll work on the sleeve. Alright guys, to cut the sleeve on this our off-shoulder asymmetric blouse, I'm going to give you a simple details that will be easy for you. I've already folded my pattern paper into 2. I'm going to fold again into 4. Okay, after folding, this is what I want to do. I think it will be more easier. So I'm going to mark 5 inches, and on this part I'm going to mark 5 inches. So I have 5 inches, both the width and the length. So I'm going to connect it. So I'm going to, after doing this, the next thing I have to do is to divide, to keep my tape this way in a triangular form. I hope you're seeing that. In a triangular form, and measure what I have. I have 7 inches. So I'm going to mark the midpoint, which is 3.5. And I'm going to connect it this way. So after marking the lines, the next thing you have to do is to do a curve. Just practice a free hand. It's called practicing a free hand. So So you keep marking it, you keep adjusting until you get what you feel like you need. You keep adjusting, you keep marking until you're satisfied. Then for me, I think I'm okay with what I have. So I'm going to cut it out. So after cutting it out, when I open it, this is what I'm going to have. So if you feel like you want it to be more, that it is too bold, you don't like it, you can as well make it more bigger. You can as well make it to have multiple. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing here. You just multiple it and then have it out again. So after cutting it out, this is what I have. So all you have to do is to cut this out in 4 pieces. Then you're going to use 2 pieces for one sleeve for the left and 2 pieces for the right. Okay guys, thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next on the sewing process. Please subscribe, share my video, like, and please always stay tuned for the next video to come. Thank you. Bye.